According to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, the median family income of the United States as of 2021 estimated is $79,900 smackaroos. That is, well, family meaning, two-person working household. So it had me thinking, well, if that's the family household, what does the individual household look like? Now, it's hard to determine because I know, every state has a different income, but I remember there was a time when somebody, just a single person working, could afford a house. You guys remember that? Am I crazy here? Where if you worked and you had somewhat of a decent job and your spouse didn't work, you could still afford a house. Shoot, even if you wanted to rent, you would still be able to afford something, but it doesn't seem very likely now, does it? I want to essentially break down the math of how it looks like to what can somebody who is a single person, according to the median income, what a single person can afford and what a family can afford. And I want to see what I can buy with that nationally, right? I want to find out today if housing is still affordable for someone making the median income. Now, I've done a video like this similar before, but this is updated for 2021, and I'm a different man now. I've learned things. So let's see what happens. So according to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, the estimated median family income fiscal year 2021 estimated is going to be $79,900. Using this number, we can find out two things. We can find out A, what you can qualify for in a house, and B, what you can afford, because there's two different things there. What you can qualify for and what you can afford is very different. And if they're similar, means you have a lot of debt. Maybe you shouldn't be buying a house. So this is how we calculate all this information. So feel free to follow along with your annual income if you want to. So if the annual family income is $79,900, okay, we can find out what the monthly gross income is, which is going to be $6,658.33 is what you're making as an annual gross income. Now, to figure out what you pre-qualify for, essentially have to find out 50% of your debt to income ratio, and that is the max allowable payment that you qualify for. So if we know our gross monthly income, which is here for the average family income, then what we do here essentially is multiply it by 0.50. So I'm going to hit multiply by 0.50. If you divide it by 2, you get the same answer. So $3,329 is the total amount that they would qualify for. Now, a lot of people have debts. We got credit card debt, we got card debt on average, whatever. I'm just usually seeing like $500 on monthly payments on average. But whatever your debt amount is, you would then subtract that from this number. Okay, we're going to subtract $500. And we get $2,829. So a family that has the median income with only about $500 worth of debt total. Now we're talking about total monthly payment, not talking about what you owe, just talking about monthly payments. So if you're a median family income and you have an average about $500 of minimum monthly payments for debt, you would qualify up to $2,829. Not too bad, but let's find out what they would actually be able to afford. And this is how we find that out. So essentially there's two rules of thoughts here. Two rules of thoughts is how you say that? I'm not sure. If we start off with our gross monthly income, we can find out one, and then we have to find our net income to find our other. Once again, our annual income is $79,900. We divide it by 12. Our gross monthly income is $6,665. So from here, we can find one model, and this is the not conservative model. This is a more little lenient one. And there's different variations to this rule, but to make it quite simple, I just like to call it the 28% rule. Percent. According to this rule that I've adjusted from other rules, you're considered house poor if your monthly payment exceeds 28% of your gross monthly income. So gross monthly income for this family is $6,665. If you multiply that by 0.28, the total monthly payment that they actually can afford is only $1,866. That's a huge difference from that $2,700 number that they could qualify for. So if they go buy a house at their max pre-approval, they're buying $1,000 over their means. Crazy. Now, to find our net income, we're going to have to essentially, we don't know the net income for this family, so we're going to have to take an estimated guess. Now, you might not know your net income, and for those that don't know, net income means the income that you get after taxes. Now, we're going to start with $6,658 again, and usually your gross income, there's maybe your net income's like 75%, maybe 80% of that. For this example, we're just going to use 75%. So our net income on average is going to be $4,993. Let's just say $5,000 to kind of even it out. So with $5,000 from here, this is our net income. And according to this conservative rule, you can only qualify for 25% of your net. So multiply by 0.25. You can only qualify up to, or afford, $1,250 with this rule. If you want to even sound more crazy, according to Dave Ramsey, you should get a 15-year loan, right? So your monthly payment's going to be higher. You should be putting 20% down for buying cash, and you should still be 25% under net. Awesome, right? So $1,250 is all that you would be able to afford. So obviously this would not work for this family. So let's use the original number of $1,800. So that's unfortunately the only option they have. So this is what a family could afford. But we're not focusing on families today. We're focusing on the individual, the folks who don't have a spouse yet, right? The people that used to be able to buy a house, but unfortunately are no longer able to buy. We're going to cut the national median family income, $7,900 in half, and we're going to be generous and add another $50. That's $40,000 a year. Okay, that's what your single, according to this, median income is going to be. Now, don't feel bad if you make under or below that. I mean, $40,000 is a great living. Divide that by 12, that's what is that? $3,333 a month. Who would not be able to survive on that, right? Well, welcome to the freaking United States of America, baby. First, we find out what we can qualify for. Let's go through this again. Your monthly income is $3,333. We multiply that by 0.5 or divide it in half. So it's $1,666.66 is what you would qualify for. Number of the beast, coincidence? I think not. That's what you can qualify for. Now, using what the affordability is, 28% rule, gross income being $3,333, multiply that by 28%. $933 is the only monthly payment that you would be able to afford. And just for and giggles, sorry, beep out. I don't want any on my video. Editor, please beep. Have you been beeping it out? Okay, good. Now we're going to get $3,323. We're going to multiply by point. I'm assuming taxes are lower in this income, so we're going to do only 80% of that. So we multiply by 0.80. That's $2,666 of net income. And then we multiply that by 0.25. And that's $666. So according to this math, a person who is a single person or sole person working household could only afford $933. We're not here to talk about qualification. We're here to talk about affordability. $933. Hashtag 933. It is official, folks. Housing is now unaffordable in the state. So let's go over some basics here. So a lot of times when you apply for a rental, now it's not every single time, but back from when I used to do rentals, a reputable landlord wants to see that you make 3 times the monthly income. So if the house is going for $1,000, yes, they used to go for $1,000. They want to see you making about $3,000 a month. According to this, with your gross monthly income of $3,333, you only qualify for, what is that, like $1,150 and some change? So you have to find an apartment or a house that's going to rent it out for near about $1,000, unless you get super lucky and you find someone who's willing to rent it out to you for cheap. Or if you're going to buy a house with the right budget in mind, which I didn't even take the freaking debt from it. We're going to assume that you have no debt, just because I don't want to get too depressed here. $933 is the monthly payment you would have to qualify for. So how can we figure out what you can qualify for with $933? Here we're going to use my favorite website, bankrate.com. Once again, not a sponsor, but bankrate.com. You are getting free advertising from me. You have a great website though, so call me. Let's help each other out here. Okay. Housing market hasn't been good for me. Look at the shirt I'm wearing. Does this shirt I'm wearing say that I'm doing good for myself? What we're going to do is we're going to use the the home insurance here is that's really cheap, right? So property taxes being $280 a month, we're going to leave it alone, right? We're going to assume there's no HOA. And yes, I know Californians, your taxes are way higher. Our East Coast people, oh, those are taxes. You call those taxes? Yeah, okay, I get it. You guys have more taxes. So let's just go up and to freaking $400 for those people, okay? Now 400, no, that's too much. Let's just go back to 300. Now let's go back to 250, whatever. Okay, so from this, we're going to scroll this down until we get to that number. Let's say I only have 5% down payment. Let's say my interest rate's gonna be 3. Now I wanna qualify for 900. So according to this, I only qualify for about 191,000, but that's assuming the home insurance is gonna be 66 a month, which is very, at least here, that's very generous. I'm gonna move this to 100. Property taxes, 126. No, I'm gonna put 200. Let's now move that down to where it needs to. Okay, a sole person working household can only qualify for $180,000. So listen, I made a video recently about Zillow, but dude, they have a great user interface and most of you guys use them. So I'm gonna use Zillow. Zillow, we love you. Just stop. Just if you get it, you wanna buy houses and sell them and make some money, but just don't put them for so high. Or just stop buying them. Just stick to what you're doing. That's all we ask for, Zillow. You know, you guys don't care about me. Let's zoom all the way out. Okay, I want to see the whole country here. There's our beautiful country. Okay, so price, $180,000. Where can I buy a house for $180,000? A lot of places. Yeah, just take out the for sale. Let's take out all these other ones. Let's just look at ones for sale for agents. Foreclosed, free foreclosed, all that. Get rid of that. Can I get 3 bedrooms and 2 baths? Is that possible? Surprisingly, California. Oh, it's probably, I want to actually buy a house though. Home type. Can we just do houses? I don't want to buy condos or anything like that. Okay, so according to this, in the state of California, can I move to California for that? There are 92 houses for sale in California. Not bad at all. If I zoom in on the East Coast, there's definitely a lot of places that work, but I'm trying to find a really nice house. Can we go to 5 bedrooms and 2 baths? And can I get like a pool? I'm gonna go really crazy. I want a pool. Javier's must-haves. Okay, we're gonna have a garage. We're gonna have an AC. I know you guys made fun of me in my California video because he's like, why is he putting AC? I guess Californians don't know what AC is or they don't use them. Must have pool. That is my must haves. Okay. If I want to have this, I only narrowed down to 11 houses. The West Coast is out of the picture and everywhere else I have 11 houses I can pick. Okay, let's see them. That is not right. Public auction. Yeah, that's probably like the starting price. There's no way that's worth that. So it doesn't count. Paducah, Kentucky, $149,000. Woo! Moving to Kentucky. Ooh, this is haunted. Ah, man, I don't want to buy any haunted house. Why they got marble on the walls, too? Let me see if I can find a ghost in that. Nope. I mean, if I want to feel like a fancy bee, then this is it, right? But I'm pretty sure if I fall asleep in this house, I'm going to have things touching me in my butt, and it won't be my wife. Oh. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's move on. $70,000 in, what the hell is that mess? Mississippi? Kind of a hoarder's house, but okay, we'd say it's a fixer-upper. And I guess the house is upside down or something because pictures are off. Albany, Georgia. This one looks nice. 2-story home in Lodge, South Carolina. Look at you guys are complaining about the housing market. Look at this. Lots of good houses. That pool is greener than Meet Kevin's bank account, bro. All right, this is a nice one. There's probably an auction one though, right? Oh, it's not an auction. This is it. This is where I'm moving. Look at this house. Oof, fixer upper. Okay, is that mold? No, I'm good. All right. So far, out of all these, my favorite has to be this one. So I guess I'm moving to Paducah, Kentucky. Let's Google that. What's going on in Paducah? Paducah, Kentucky. Let's see. What's going on in the news in Paducah, Kentucky? Explosion at Paducah Dipping Dots sends 10 people to the hospital. 2 people accused of shooting man at his home in Paducah. Paducah area unemployment worsens. Caution, roadblocked, child passing away. Accused of having a hunter suspect fentanyl. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have to take it on the limb. Yeah. So I realized that I just focused on what I was looking for and I didn't like do a general search. So here is that. So here what I'm looking at right now currently is just 3 bedroom, 2 baths up to 180. And there's definitely a lot of places around the country. But what I'm noticing is like when it's like weird cities I've never heard of, Alvin, Daytona Beach. That sounds familiar. Houma, Orlando, Citrus, Florida. So when the ones that are our major cities, right? Like if I focus up on this one, if I look at a map of it, it's usually like outskirts towns, right? So it's not necessarily in the city, but it's a little more outskirt. Now I have no idea about Houston. If you're in Houston, please let us know if this part of town is solid or not. But I mean, there's some solid houses at 180. Now, the monthly payment might not work for towns like this because the taxes are higher, but there's definitely tons of options under 180, but it's not just going to be in the highly desirable areas of like San Antonio. Yeah, I like the Spurs. I like Pop. Well, let's look at the map and see, is it in the heart of San Antonio? Oh, that's Wally deciding to ruin my video. Thanks, Wally. Yeah, so that might work. So, I mean, you could buy a house under 180, but it's not going to be in the heart of a metro city, or it's going to be a city that maybe you're not too familiar with. If I want to look in the West Coast, yeah, it's slim pickings. And once again, like at Phoenix, there's only 2, but Tucson, there's plenty. Or here in New Mexico, if you want to buy in Albuquerque, doesn't look like a lot of options, but if you want to live next to Ciudad Juarez, there it is. So the common thing I'm seeing is it is possible, but you're not looking in the major cities where most of the jobs are probably. You're looking at either cities that are not very popular, they're not as populated yet at least, or it's very outskirts, far away, or it's a town maybe you haven't heard of. Listen, I want to leave this video on a happy note, okay? So yes, unfortunately right now, according to what's going on, if you're a single person right now, or someone if you're making an average wage, essentially housing is now only available, if this is true, to single or sole people who are working but have a really well-paying job, like above the median income, above average, or it has to be a 2-person working household. That looks like the only option that most people have. And there might be a lot of co-ops happening, or a lot of people buying, like, instead of a spouse is buying 2 buddies, maybe your best friend and you have to team up to buy a house together. I'm not sure what happens from this point on, but it looks like it's pretty consistent across the board. So what do you guys think about this? Is this a bunch of crap? Are you going to move to Paducah with me? Let me know when we're moving. I need some help moving. We got all this crap to move out of here. So thank you guys for stopping by.